Here's the thing, everyone. I know I've been going really hard on Amber Heard and Johnny Depp's trial that's going on so far. And you know what? I've been doing some reading for the opposition here for a minute. Well, at least what I thought was the opposition. But like I said, I've been doing some reading. And boy, have I been wrong about this entire situation. I completely agree with this headline right here. There has been an unfair vilification of Amber Heard. She is completely right about the situation. And multiple of these articles have completely convinced me that she really truly is the victim here. Testimony be damned, evidence be damned. I don't want to hear any of it. Okay, I don't want to hear from the rest of these toxic Johnny Depp supporters that are out here like, oh my God, can you believe how bad these are making these bigoted, evil, sexist people? Okay, do you want to be on the right side of history, or do you want to be one of these misogynistic haters that are out here? Like, oh my God. In a disturbing case of life imitating true crime TV, Amber Heard supporters have allegedly received harassment and threats of Johnny Depp fans on social media. Oh my God, imagine that. Just the bigots that are out there thinking that they've already won this case after that woman was brutally beaten and all of the horrible treatment that she's had to endure all this time. Now it's being levied to her adoring fans. I can't believe this at all. This is terrible. Since April, the embattled ex-couple who made headlines all the way back in 2016 during their initial split. Yeah, when Johnny beat her up and even though he was across the country, beat her up and she got a restraining order that was leaked to TMZ. But she got it and proved that he was a wife beater. You remember that UK trial? Amber Heard won that trial, even though the defendant in the case was the UK son. But Amber Heard won that trial, and it was affirmed that Johnny Depp is a wife beater. And I will hear nothing to the opposite of that, because I believe all women. Depp is suing the actress for $50 million, and my queen Amber is suing for $100 million because all of her career trajectory was on the up and up, unlike Johnny Depp, who was just a drunken malcontent who's nosediving from success. Even though he was attached to a bunch of different successful franchises and was booking a whole bunch of independent films at the time. But no, Amber Heard stood to gain so much from her bit role in Aquaman. Okay, it was going to catapult her to the stars like everybody else that is associated with that version of the DCEU. Don't worry about it. It all makes sense if you just listen and believe. Shut your mouth, you fucking bigot. Now, both sides have testified and began testifying, and we don't know if our queen's case is being rested on Monday or not, but it's highly speculated that they could pull the dumbest move that they possibly could with Johnny Depp coming back to the stand. That'll be fun. Anyways, although Heard's defense remains ongoing and very strong and very convincing, she has so many people's video testimonies being played in the court that just go back and reaffirm that she was abused, and her penthouse that she was living in that was being paid for and it was owned by Johnny Depp, it was ransacked multiple times, and Johnny has a history, even according to Ellen Barkin, of throwing wine bottles around or tossing them directly at her, at a group of people. But there's a history of violence there, and he needs to be held accountable. Enough of his rampant abuse of the public. Like, look at that. He's throwing up a Roman salute. This man needs to be brought to justice because he has all of his brainwashed bots out there that just follow everything that he says. So rapt viewers are publicly throwing their support behind one or another using the hashtags I stand with Johnny Depp, which, if you remember the expert saying, every single one of those tweets is 100% against Amber Heard. And the I stand with Amber Heard, exactly. My shirt's already in the mail and it should be here next to never. But it'll be on its way, god damn it. And I know I've been listening and believing, and that is also my face at the same time. I can't believe this. I can't believe the torrent of hatred that's been coming forward. And one of those yet to predict who will prevail in court. We know who's going to prevail in court because we have the truth on our side now. Some believe that it's Johnny Depp who's winning the social media campaign. They're all bots, okay? Even Elon Musk, okay? One of the exes, and less said about that relationship, the better. He was going to testify, but then, didn't really have the time or anything like that. But no. He said that so many people on social media are bots, and those are all Johnny Depp supporters, okay? They don't know what they're talking about, okay? There are pictures of Amber Heard with bruises and marks that are not consistent with ringed fingers or anything like that, or some of the most horrific allegations. They weren't caught on film or camera or anything like that, or even audio recordings at all whatsoever. Don't worry about that. But there are pictures that are just changed saturation pictures that show a whole host of injuries, okay? Don't worry about that at all whatsoever. I want to get to some of these bad headlines, okay? There's so many bad headlines. The vocal support has also reared its impolite head. That is terrible, okay? Listen, it's all right if you support Johnny Depp, but if you're saying mean things, that's inappropriate, okay? You could phrase this you could phrase your support in a much nicer fashion, okay? Because I feel like I'm being attacked in the hallowed legal halls of Fairfax, Virginia. Okay, where a gaggle of female fans, yeah, exactly. It's just a bunch of desperate women that are there. They just want the attention of this abuser. Like, look at this picture. He couldn't look more evil. He has a gaggle of female fans, and that's being reported by Law and Crime's Jesse Weber via Mediaite. Even though they're both owned by the same organization, that's why you have to differentiate it, because it just at least looks like it's being corroborated by another source. But when they're all under the same umbrella corporation, the Dan Abrams Media Group, don't worry about that. Anyways, it's a majority women, Weber said, and they're all being mean. When Heard was testifying, I overheard a lot of people snickering. Yeah, well, you're just brainwashed. You should be listening. You should feel bad about yourself. Making snide comments and laughing. In fact, I observed one of these court officers telling them to quiet down and show respect to the witness on the stand. She was sobbing, not crying, but she was being really emotional in her Chairman Mao outfit a bunch of times. In fact, bad headlines associated with the circus of the trial repeatedly prompted Heard to fire her public relations firm. Exactly. They couldn't get a handle on this situation that was going so terribly for him even before Amber Heard even took the stand. But they definitely couldn't get a grasp on this because she has a story to tell, and god damn it, the mass media should know about it. Meanwhile, Heard fans, with TikTok videos allegedly amounting to comparatively paltry 44 million, okay, have allegedly endured sexist trolls. This is where it just gets so terrible on social media, who seek to silence her side of the story. Exactly. They're just trying to silence this woman like Johnny Depp for so long. I can't believe it. What are they saying? One woman told the outlet that she blocked 13,000 threatening Twitter users. Jesus fucking Christ. Since the start of the trial. Yeah, and all of them were making death threats too. Another reportedly fielded an onslaught of unwarranted violation reports as angry Johnny Depp sought to shut down her opinion, urging her to get off social media and even harm herself. Oh my God. I stand with Amber Heard advocate Katie Diaz, one of the good ones, who first voiced her support for the Aquaman alum. No, she's still in it, even though the role in in Aquaman 2, how appropriate, might be reduced to the point where she's not even going to be in it anymore, on May 4th, claimed that she has since received hundreds of very disturbing and threatening messages from strangers hinting at a coordinated attack on women. Oh my God. As if this trial wasn't bad enough, it's even spreading out to the people out there, and these are very credible resuscitation of facts, okay? So just know that I'm taking a bullet for this, okay? You know what? Voicing my support for standing with Amber Heard. I'm going to face a torrent of attacks for this, but you know what? We have the truth on our side, okay? Why is Johnny Depp still smirking, especially in that picture right there as he's sleeping on his island? Maybe because the internet has decided that Depp has already won this trial. Well, they need to put their bias aside and just listen to the facts, as has Chris Rock. Yeah, he's made jokes about beating women, so obviously he's also put a fist in a woman's face before, who said on stage this week that yes, we should believe all women, just not Amber Heard. Wow. The audacity. Amber Heard isn't a perfect victim, but guess what? There are no perfect victims. Exactly, it's a messy situation. Sometimes you're the victim, but you're the only one who's recording to actually hitting the other person. Therefore, they were a victim because they didn't have a comfy enough jaw to put your knuckles against. Anyways, anyone who recalls the testimony of Harvey Weinstein's rape victims, see, it's exactly the same. Johnny Depp raped Amber Heard with a Maker's Mark bottle that she only put together, when she was on the stand the first time that she ever seen that picture, even though everything was turned over by her party. Anyways, some of whom continue to have consensual sex with Weinstein after their attacks. Yes, exactly. They were too scared to get out of that situation. Or they were just trying to leverage their looks in their box in order to try to get a better role in Hollywood. And that's, just an exchange of sexual favors between two consenting adults. But then somebody later in life had a regret about the situation. But yeah, no, definitely don't think too hard about it. Who sent him warm emails. One even writing she hoped to introduce Weinstein to her mother. Can attest to that. Exactly. They were trapped. They were helpless victims. But don't call Amber a victim. She's a hero for standing up to this. She faced the wrath of our culture, and she's still standing strong. Why so much hatred for Heard? I got a couple of theories. So why so few feminist voices standing up for her? I can also answer that question. On Monday, she testified that Depp more than once grabbed her by the pubic bone. Exactly in those words. Just like, and who else would grab women by the pubic bone? A certain orange man, if you will. And you know what he said that was even more terrible? Okay, Johnny Depp taunted me, asking me if I thought I was so fucking tough like a man. Exactly. Johnny Depp in all of these recitations by the Queen Amber Heard also says that Johnny Depp continuously repeats himself, even though every time that he's captured on audio or in written text messages, he speaks very loquaciously and has the depth of his vocabulary is that of the Marianas Trench. But whenever he's, making these threats that definitely happened, and we should believe all women when it comes to this stuff, all of these threats, it's just the same loop. As Amber calls it, that's why it's believable, okay? It's the same loop of insults over and over again. Even though, in some very disturbing audio, which we're going to go through probably tomorrow, she's the one that gets constantly stuck in a certain loop by saying things like, suck my dick, suck my dick, suck my dick, whatever. On Monday, she testified, Amber Heard has more recall detail and receipts than Christine Blasey Ford ever did. Oh, now we're just trying to throw her under the bus, huh? Yet Blasey Ford became an immediate accuser celebre, a truth to misogyny. It's so misogynist. I can't even believe this. I, right now, being a female ally, okay, I am a male feminist in this situation. Ugh, that even feels bad to say. Of metric of liberal feminist bona fides, Amber Heard has become a punchline. And you know what? She's been a punchline for far too long. How is this fair or logical? Again, I have some answers to that. But if that's where everything was ending, I wasn't quite convinced by this, okay? That's why I went over to Vogue and I found this story, Why It's Time to Believe Amber Heard. And this story perfectly came out at the right time that we all needed it to. Right as cross-examination was beginning on the Tuesday, or maybe it was released after cross-examination, so I don't know how anybody could stand with Amber Heard at that time. But everybody needed to hear and see this article. Where to begin with the online cesspit that is Depp-Heard. Unless you've been living under a rock for the past few weeks. Yeah, that's where all the Depp supporters live because they're all Neanderthals. You'll know that the ex-spouses are back in court. Johnny Depp is seeking damages. Oh my god, $50 million. She could never afford that. That's just mean and malicious. Who would ever file such a frivolous lawsuit with just such astronomical figures? Wrote an op-ed for the Washington Post in 2018, which she spoke of being a victim of domestic abuse without ever explicitly naming Depp. No, she would just go ahead and do that on the stand. But no, she didn't make reference to him at all. It was just a relationship that she was in for multiple years, 2 years prior to 2018. Anyways, the minutia being combed through at trial has come to feel less like a lawsuit and more like a tortious exorcism of the past. There's one demon, that's for true. a thorough and painful raking over the coals for their 4-year entanglement. Good choice of words right there. Good choice of words. Entanglement. I believe this even more so. The details of both Depp and Heard's testimonies are harrowing all by themselves, one more so than the other. One sounds like it actually happened, the other one just sounds like a ripoff of a cheesy romance novel. Gruesome, violent, and containing deeply intimate anecdotes about their relationships. May I remind you about Australia? Amber's recounting of Australia, not anybody else's. Broadly speaking, that's also very sexist. That's misogyny, if you're saying broadly. Witness testimonies can be pervasive, and with 2 actors in the dock, we can never be sure of the absolute truth. Yeah, exactly. You remember when Howard Stern said that Johnny Depp was acting? I believe everything that Howard Stern says. One of the most hated men of the 1990s. Well, now he's taking down one of the most hated men of the 2020s. Still, despite the fact that London's High Court previously found allegations that Depp was a wife-beater to be substantially true, the internet appears to be overwhelmingly picked Depp's side. Last week, justice for Johnny Depp was trending on Twitter. Yesterday, it was Amber. I'm not even going to say that because that is such misogyny. I don't even know where to begin to describe that. Go on social media and the anti-Heard sentiment is palpable. The memes, the violent memes, have you seen them? They're terribly hilarious. Have been ferocious, sometimes consisting of a spot the difference comparison with the domestic abuse victims. At the other time, televised courtroom footage has been appropriated. They're violating fair use by using publicly available court feeds. Has been openly mocked. Can you believe the audacity of this? It is plain misogyny. Company behind the makeup compact Heard used to even hide her bruise made a TikTok disputing her claims. Yeah, what would they know? They just make the bruise kit. They don't apply the makeup used to create the bruise. But they disputed her claims. How very bigoted of them. God, it's tiring being a leftist coming up with a different victim verbiage. Heard is being systematically, it's the system that's holding her down now, by the pubic bone no less. Oh my God, jeered at and ridiculed like a medieval criminal in the stocks as she catalogs historic abuse. She alleges rape. Yes, historic rape allegations. So much sexual abuse. You got that bottle incident, that horrific bottle incident, as well as the cavity search that definitely happened at the trailer park in Hicksville. Have we completely lost track of the severity of these allegations? Exactly. Allegations are practically as good as evidence. We all understand the Depp fans will side with Depp. Yeah, because they're just all bots. They're mindless bots, but even less aggressively Depp-pilled. Just like being red-pilled. Yeah, sure. Of us want to believe that the Pirates of the Caribbean star is blameless. If not squeaky clean, then at least under the duress of drug addiction or acting out of character. Exactly. Depp did so many drugs and Amber Heard was just a goddess who would never, ever touch illegal substances, except for the couple of times. But she is so vociferously against cocaine and MDMA and mushrooms and anything else like that, and she would only drink red wine occasionally. Right. We certainly don't want to believe that this entire court case is the precipice, or is precise and convening operation and discrediting Heard, regardless of what she has to say, regardless of her truth, and that's important. It's her truth. Skipping ahead a little bit because this is making me nauseous. I've spent a lot of time wondering if everyone's lost the plot. Maybe it's everybody else who is wrong and not me in this situation. That's what us Amber Heard stans feel. If the erosion of empathy we see online has rendered us so inherently unkind as a species that there's no return. I don't want to despair for humanity. I want to believe that some of us are offline and mildly compassionate, or compassionate in a way that doesn't get tweeted out. Exactly. It's a silent majority that just believes all women. You keep telling yourself that. But you know what? You got another sister out there who's also telling the story, who's out there fighting the good fight at the very reputable source that is Vox. Why the Depp-Heard trial is so much worse than you realize. And this is a long one. I'm not going to read all of it because, you know what? Hey, I've never touched a drink or drug in my life. That's actually true. And reading all of this, I don't want to be enticed to, go back on that 32-year-old commitment. Why the Depp-Heard trial is so much worse than you realize. Amber Heard is just the first target of a new extremist playbook. Which extremists? Right-wing extremists. Around the third or fourth time I logged onto Twitter that hour to find Amber Heard as a psychopath at the top of the trending list, I realized that there was no longer any pretending that the Depp-Heard defamation trial was not a terrible, foreboding reflection of our culture's worst impulses. The media has covered the degree to which the trial has served as a referendum on the Me Too movement and a siren call to domestic abusers. Now you guys can go ahead and you can beat your wives at will because nobody's going to believe your credible accusations. Because look at all of the evidence. Okay, don't. Look at everything that Amber Heard has brought forward and still nobody is believing her harrowing tales. I can't believe it. The narrative of this trial has been shaped in part by what appears to be, according to multiple researchers, yeah, exactly, an army of bots spreading rhetoric favorable to Johnny Depp. See, it's not real people. We are really, truly in the majority because we're recanting credible stories and unique perspectives. Believe all women. Believe all women. Hashtag me too. Hashtag me too. One researcher found that more bots favorable to Heard, but said most of those bots were from third-party apps trying to capitalize on the trial. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter that there's more bots on Amber Heard's side. They're just capitalizing on it to make money, and money's bad and evil and capitalist. They found the highest pro-Depp bot post was shared nearly 20,000 times. Oh my God. Especially on Twitter, where all the most logical conversations are had. This is just too much to bear. The work of these bots has been furtherly amplified by men's rights activists. God damn it, all of these accusations came out to 2016 and before that. Therefore, the men's rights activist movement was still barely a thing at the time, and it's, even though it's completely dead at this point, it is very much still alive in discrediting Amber Heard, the part of the far right leaning extremist manosphere. Yeah, okay. That seems to have decided discrediting Amber Heard is key to destroying every woman. They're just out there just trying to discredit and destroy every woman. That's what the manosphere is all about. Yeah, we're going to have to go back and run that back here in the next couple of days when we got more time. Who accuses men of abuse or domestic violence? Exactly. Nobody would believe you because you're a man. That's what my queen says. Conservative media outlets have also promoted a one-sided narrative of the case. Vice recently reported that Ben Shapiro's popular. Yeah, it's only popular because you got bots and because of your connections to the Middle East. Oy vey. Conservative news platform, the Daily Wire. Yeah, more like the Daily Bigot. Gotcha. Has spent nearly $50,000 promoting ads. Oh my God, could you imagine? That's just chump change. Spend twice as much. Hell, 3 times as much, and you'd be able to afford the wine that it costs to be in the relationship with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Promoting ads on the trial on Instagram and Facebook. Most of it trashing Heard. Yeah, see? Most of it. Okay. What amounts to trashing. The presence of these bad actors has, if anything, only exacerbated the vitriol Heard has received within the mainstream. Yes, exactly. That's why Vox, Vogue, and the New York Post are running headlines that Amber Heard is truly the victim and we should believe her at all times. That's why, yes, the mainstream narrative on this hasn't just been parroted. That even though in the first day of cross-examination when Camille Vasquez was bringing up all of those pictures of the alleged abuse that was on there, they didn't run with the headlines that that Johnny Depp's lawyer shows pictures of swollen, beaten Amber Heard. That's why that wasn't their headline that they were running with. Okay, cool. Trial memes, almost universally weighted against Heard, have taken over every corner of the internet, from TikTok to Twitch to Etsy, Even Saturday Night Live has lampooned what has been portrayed as many excesses and absurdities of the trial testimony, and social media users have similarly found the trial ripe for parody. What a bunch of monsters. Maybe they've all been drinking and become the monster we've heard so much about. Maybe it's out there because it's really hard to, pin down within Johnny Depp. On TikTok, for example, totally unrelated accounts seem to be giving themselves over to full-time Depp-Heard trial mockery. Oh my god, memesters memeing the most popular thing right now in the world. They should be talking about more pressing topics, like war. Which war is the United States actively involved in? Anyways, abortion. Yeah, because that's on the precipice of also being taken away. And inflation, because memesters know a lot about the economy. Sure, Amber Heard cried while on the stand. Really? I've been watching this the entire time and I haven't seen her cry once. She tried to. But did you see how ridiculous she looked while doing it? Oh my god. Again and again over the course of the trial, basic human empathy. See, Vogue and Vox are on the same timeline here. It's all about empathy. You should feel bad for Amber Heard because she's telling a story that should make you feel bad. Seems to have been completely flown out the window. More than that, nuance feels impossible. Exactly, you got an automaton, or you did at the time, in the witness box telling you a tale that was horrific, and I'm sure it happened to somebody at some point in time. But she's trying to express these feelings that are foreign to her, that she didn't experience at the time that she's recounting these horrific incidences from happening, okay? She's just really reliving it, and at least through her facial and body expressions, she's reliving the side of the abuser, not so much the victim, but nuance has been lost because nobody can really listen to her story and believe it. And there doesn't seem to be room even for the reality of the situation. Exactly, you motherfuckers should take your own advice on this. The reality of the situation is none of these fucking claims that Amber and her side are making correlate with Johnny Depp. Even the most damning evidence that's out there, even from those fucking leeches that lived at the Eastern Columbia building, Josh Drew, Rocky Pennington, Whitney Heard, depending on which fucking recitation of events you want to believe from her or from Amber, they all tell a different fucking story. And even when anything correlates, like after the final blow up, after, what was that, May 16th, 2016 or something, they never seen Johnny Depp actually be violent or vulgar with Amber. None of the audio recordings even come close to anything that was as bad as what Amber did. This is why it's so important that independent media continues to cover this trial all the way through the bitter end, and then even in the aftermath of this stuff, because okay, this really truly is, and they've seen it a couple of different times and they've been recounting this, oh, it's an alt-right, it's a manosphere topic, it's a men's rights activist, an MRA, which hasn't been fucking relevant since what, Cassie J's movie, the Red Pill, in 2016 or some shit like that. Okay, men's right, whenever you see that in an article, okay, men's rights activist, it's not fucking relevant, okay? It's moved on, okay? And then trying to condemn the manosphere. What branch of the manosphere are you talking about here? Are you talking about that fringe fucking section that believes literally everything is about sex? Or are you just trying to talk about the actual fucking manosphere, okay? The credible people, the authors, you know, the real thought leaders of the movement. No, you want to talk about the fringe because it's easy to discredit the fringe, right? Or you want to try to link it to a right-wing movement because, you know, noted Republican and fucking right-wing extremist Johnny Depp, yeah. It's definitely, that's where all of his fans are coming from. Or maybe it's the fact that once again, this is a trial that the media is trying to spin in a certain fucking direction. Because this is Vox, okay? These aren't fringe publications. Vox, Vogue, the New York Post, which I like occasionally, right? These aren't fringe outlets, okay? This is still the mass media. Go on NBC, you go on CBS, you take a look at their trial coverage, okay? They're going to try to tell you a narrative that Amber Heard is still the abuser. You need to continue to rally behind the idea that believe all women is the correct idea, okay? Whenever a woman is a victim, okay, or anything that could happen to a woman is at stake, you need to believe her at all times. Why? Because they need to, fuck off, reserve that arrow. I've been talking about this for a while, and if you guys are new to this stuff, okay, I'll just go ahead and lay this out for everyone. At the end of the day, when Amber Heard ultimately loses this case, because I'm very, very, very much putting it down that Johnny Depp's winning this verdict. Is he going to get all 50 million? No, okay, that's never how anything works out, okay? Will he get 8 digits? Maybe. High 7s, non-aggressive 8s, okay, somewhere in that range. Okay, maybe he'll end up getting the entirety of the divorce settlement back, but Amber Heard's not liquid enough. That's just what gets left in the bed. But no, when it comes to finances, she can't quite get all of that money together, and you can't convince me otherwise. And you know what, hey, 36 can't quite maneuver as well as 26, so good luck at getting those fucking funds from one of your simps that are out there. The whole Me Too movement, believe all women garbage, okay, they're just gonna put her in a little fucking basket because she's so goddamn crazy. It's just, no, that's a one-off, because okay, even in the background right now, you got the Trevor Bauer situation, which is going to arbitration with the Major League Baseball after he was cleared on 3 different fucking occasions from 3 different branches, and the same outcome came, and it's like he didn't do anything wrong, but MLB decided that nope, there's enough evidence that's out there and we can go ahead and slander his good name. And you also got a couple of professional wrestler cases, okay, a smaller one from a guy that was working with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and another one that we talked about on the channel here. His real name's Zachary Green, okay, Zachary Wentz on the Indies, and then what did he go by, Nash Carter in the Fed? It's kind of a similar situation here with Heard, okay? He was going to be leaving his fat ex-wife, who's also a worker, Kimberly, who, you know what, hey, she felt so strongly about her accusations that she was making against her husband. Also, again, just showing, oh, I got bruises from he beat me all the time. Yeah, just bruises, okay? You're also a professional fucking wrestler, okay? You're gonna get fucking bruises, but whatever. No, he gave me those, but then he also posed with Hitler in one of those pictures, and he had a little mustache as well, and that made him look terrible. And he gets fucking axed for no good reason. He gets no recourse from just these spurious allegations. So again, this movement is gonna continue to chug on and on and on, okay? But more people are watching the actual coverage, and I'm hoping and I'm praying, really, that this is going to wake more people up, okay? There's always going to be a percentage of people who understand this line of thinking, okay? It's not a political ideology, not even an ideology, okay? It's more of a praxeology. Once you understand what's really going on out there, then you can start to decipher what's out there and form your own opinions, okay? And then there was those different court cases, and that there was different things that came up from time to time that brought a lot of attention on things. But this is the first one where I'm running back and I'm taking a look at the numbers of the more popular videos that are on the channel, and I'm seeing that more women are starting to come into this, and more women are starting to subscribe to these channels, okay? The LawTube channels, okay? The ones that are actively covering and streaming the trial at the time, understanding what is actually going on, okay? Trying to cross check. It's like, okay, cool, that story is fantastical when you're telling it on the stand, but it's a hell of a lot more different than what you even said in your deposition a couple of months ago or a couple of years ago. Great, go ahead and try to reconcile that information, okay? There's a lot more thought that's going on there, and hopefully this is going to be that moment that just flips the switch in people's heads when they start to realize that everything that we're just getting told, maybe there's just a little more, like they said here in one of these stupid shit articles, okay? Maybe there's some nuance here, okay? Maybe it's not just listen and believe. Maybe it's not believe all women. Maybe it's not believe all victims. Maybe it's, this idea of due process, and that you're innocent until proven guilty, instead of this weird fucking inversion we've been living under for the better part of a decade. So that's why I'm so passionate about continuing to cover this trial, because the media wants your attention over here. Oh, pay attention to this war that's happening over in Ukraine that you can't do fuck all about. You can just go outside and yell at the crowd, or yell at the clouds, and Putin, or whatever the fuck, okay? Or abortion. Again, why be mad, okay? Just don't have unprotected sex. Case closed. And then inflation, okay? Biden and the Democrats are just going to continue to fucking spend like drunk sailors, okay? And if they can find a compelling enough target, they'll just get the Republicans to sign on anyways, and they'll just continue to just fucking send more money abroad in order to fill the military-industrial complex. So, no, you should just continue to care about more nebulous topics instead of things that, you know, could have the potential to really wake you up, to see the lies in real time and be able to form your own opinions on things. So That's why I'm going to continue to cover this stuff. Definitely full press for the rest of the week here. And then however this shakes out, and then hopefully we'll be on to the next one so that eventually the next one is the last one. With all of that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.